Welcome to the London School of English Live. Today, our expert English language trainer, Linda Stott, will share with you practical English language tips for pitching your startup. You will discover useful expressions and business English vocabulary to communicate effectively with potential investors in English. As usual, you can ask your questions or write your comments in the live chat next to the video, and we will endeavor to answer all of them at the end in our question and answer session. And here with us today, we also have our colleague Phrasal, who has a lot of experience with business presentations, and she will take part in our Q&A session too. But before we start with the main content, Phrasal will share some information about our English training in London and online that can be helpful if you want to improve your business English. Phrasal, over to you.
Thanks very much for the introduction, Olga. Good to see you again, Linda.
Yes,
thank you,
hi,
everybody, for joining us today for what will be a very interesting and exciting live stream if you're looking to enter the world of startups and pitching. And to be honest, it's one of those skills that you need wherever you go because we're constantly having to make cases, to pitch for things in any area of our life. So we're looking forward to today's session. As Olga mentioned, we have a variety of courses available to help our clients with different needs. So we've been open now for face-to-face courses for nearly 3 months and welcoming our students to our center here in Holland Park. We offer a business and professional intensive course that's available in mornings only or as a full day program or as a combination, in fact. So we often have clients, for example, that want to benefit from that group interaction and then have some tailored, personalized one-to-one training as well. We are running these courses online because of the world we're in now. You have to be flexible, and we can adjust to whether you're where you live or whether you are able to come over here or whether you're actually going to do a bit of both. So we've recently been welcoming a lot of clients that have traveled over, need to study online for their quarantine period, and then they come into the classroom. So that's also worked out quite well. We have a online business and professional English course that's 3 hours a day and an intensive one on a Monday to Friday basis, again, covering different concepts like meetings, negotiations, presentation skills, writing skills, and that is available on a weekly basis. We have our Business English Express course. This is also online and very much ideal if you are working and you just want to ensure that you remain on top of your business language, have a little bit of practice on a weekly basis. So this is delivered as 2 90-minute sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the evening time here in the UK. A great opportunity for people who might have, taken some time to do some intensive courses and now they just want to keep in touch with the language and have top-ups. So we cover different topics every week, in fact. Another one of our courses is English for Work and Careers. And so that's actually designed for people who might not have as much work experience. So those are for our students that are aged sort of 20 to 35. Often they're kind of new in their career or just about to start out, but they'd like to get some more information and comfort in terms of like their business language and knowledge. So actually in part of that course, we have quite a few things related to pitching and whatnot. Yeah, so those are our business English courses. If you have any questions, then you can contact us. Go to our website, visit us at clients@londonschool. Email us, at clients@londonschool.com, and just let us know if you need anything.
Great. Thank you very much, Phrasal, for telling us more about the business English and individual training. And Linda, now over to you for the main content. Great to have you back.
Thank you so much, Olga. Thanks, Phrasal, for all that info. Also very extremely useful for, as you say, the session for today. First of all, I'd just like to welcome everybody that's joined us and also just say hello to those that would join on the recorded session once this has been uploaded. So what companies come to mind when you hear the word startup? It'd be interesting to hear your thoughts. What companies come to mind when you hear the word startup? Well, I can say that for sure, as a Londoner, there are two companies specifically that come to mind. They're not necessarily English companies, but certainly as a Londoner, these are two startups that come to mind straight away because of the fact that in London, we would probably, a lot of people are using this, and that would be Uber and City Mapper. And I'm sure any Londoner or any person living in London will tell you straight away, absolutely, these two apps are absolutely critical if you're visiting London or if you live in London. So those are the two startup companies that come to mind. So you have an excellent idea and you want to pitch it to investors in English. Okay, well, fear not. We are here to help you achieve your goals. There's a lot to discuss about this topic, so there won't be time to cover absolutely everything. However, I'm going to do my best to cram it in. So in a way, we could say this session is a taster session and it will help you. However, if you do need more assistance, then it's a good idea to get on one of our courses. Phrasal already mentioned a couple of those. Or if you feel you want to focus on more specific things, join us for an individual lesson. Right, let's get straight in. Here are a few key points to consider in preparation for your pitch in English. So the first thing I think would be important to consider is your slide deck punchy, personal, and precise? So is your slide deck punchy, personal, and precise? The next point is your slide deck engaging based on your high quality business plan? Have you used keywords, words that are commonly used in your sector? This is really, really important for algorithms and various other points to make sure that you use these keywords that are used in your industry or in your sector. The next point is the key is in the delivery of your presentation. So is your intonation, your word stress, your pacing and pausing, creating a powerful presentation? Or do you need help with that? The next point is, are you using the vocabulary accurately? Of course, this is really important. If you're going to try and make a good impression and you're not using your vocabulary correctly, it could create a really bad impression. You haven't done your homework. You haven't looked at what you're doing properly. Then the next issue would be, or the next point would be, any issues with grammar. Now, if you're presenting, doing your pitch in English, you need to make sure that your grammar and your sentence structure, make sure that's accurate so that you come across as professional, that you communicate your message effectively. And the most important of everything is, have you checked, and rechecked for errors, grammar errors, spelling, vocabulary, the works, making sure that everything is absolutely crystal clear and no errors. So let us know if there's anything else that you would add to this list that you think is important when you give your pitch in English. So as the presentation side of the pitch and the language you use is important, I thought I'd start by taking a quick look at this. So here is a basic guide to a presentation introduction. I have to stress that it's a basic guide, but hopefully it'll give you some information that can help you with proceeding with your pitch. So can you guess which verbs fit in the gaps? So the first sentence that we're going to focus on is, today I'm going to. Now we've got these 4 verbs: take, tell, show, and summarize. And we need to take these verbs and we need to fit them into the 4 gaps. So we've got a look at the recent boom in online sales, why our product is in demand, financials to back this up, the main reason why we have a competitive edge. Feel free to write your answers in the comment section. If you're watching this as a recording, once it's uploaded, perhaps you want to write down your answers on a piece of paper. Aha, take a look. Okay, good, excellent. But as I was saying, if you're watching this as a recorded session, you might also want to write your answers down and then check them afterwards. Thanks, Camilla, for your input there. So I can reveal that the answers are, let's have a look and see what the answers are. So the first one is, take a look at the recent boom in online sales. One, well done, Camilla. The second one is, tell you why our product is in demand. Number C is show you financials to back this up and summarize the main reasons why we have a competitive edge. Before we move on, I just want to say there's a specific reason why each of these words has been used, and it's to do with the word that follows. If you want more detailed information about why, I would suggest that you book a course and get more information as to why we're using these specific words. In other words, why are we using take in A and not tell, etc., etc. So moving on to the second one is the sentence starts with, I'll begin by, and we've got these 4 verbs. We've got giving, outlining, and commenting. So the gaps are, we need to fill in is A, an overview of current trends, our policy on bad debt, on our current sales figures. So as I said, if you're watching this once it's recorded or uploaded, jot the answers down and check yourself at the end. If you are joining us, please feel free to put your answers in the comment section. So I can reveal that the answer is, or the answers are, so giving you an overview of current trends, outlining our policy on bad debt, commenting on our current sales figures. And as I said again, there's specific reasons why we can only use these particular words based on the words that follow. So for instance, to give you a clue, in letter C, commenting on. So the preposition on always follows the commenting on and then what it is that you're commenting on. Then moving on to the sentence 3, it starts with, and then I'll move on to, so if we look at sentence 3, it says, and then I'll move on to, and we've got these 3 verbs, highlight, put, and focus. So the sentences are, A would be gap, on why customers buy our products. B is the reasons we stand out in the marketplace. And C, all of this into perspective in relation to current market trends. So the 3 verbs that we need to use is highlight, put, and focus. And I can reveal that the answers are, so A, focus on. So we can see that we need to use, when we use the word focus, we must follow it with the preposition on. So focus on why customers buy our products. Highlight the reasons we stand, and there's a typo error on my part, and it's not standard, it should be stand out in the marketplace. Apologies for that. And C, focus all of, put all of this into perspective. So put into perspective. So put into perspective in relation to current market trends. So as I mentioned at the beginning, this is just a snapshot. If you think you need more help, join a business group or ask for an individual lesson with a teacher at the school to focus on your specific areas of concern. If you play this back, you will notice that you can start to, you've got your introduction flowing through nicely from 1 through to 3. Good. Let's take a look now at some vocabulary. And first of all, we're going to look at 3 useful acronyms or commonly used acronyms relating to doing a pitch. So the first one is USP. And I'm just wondering if anybody knows what a USP is. It's the unique selling point of a company, product, or service. What makes it different? Investors want to know why customers should choose you. The second acronym is NDA. And NDA stands for a non-disclosure agreement, a legal document which protects you, the startup, from having your ideas stolen or used by a potential investor. The next acronym is ROI, and the meaning of this is return on investment. So in other words, the amount of money you get back on an initial amount that you invested. Great. Now we're done with the acronyms. I'm going to move on to look at some commonly used vocabulary relating to making a pitch. Here are 5 words, and I'm wondering, do you know what they mean? So in the comment section, type your answer in, for example, 1D, 2B, and so on. And if you're watching the uploaded session, write your answers down on a piece of paper and check yourself later. Thank you, Camilla, for continuing to participate. So the first one is, the word is buy-in. This is a noun. Which is it? So A is agreeing with or accepting something that someone suggests. Or is it B, purchase goods or services? So do you think it's A or do you think it's B? And I can reveal that the answer is A. So A is the correct answer for number 1. Number 1 is A, agreeing with or accepting something that someone suggests is buy-in. The second word we're going to look at is leverage, which is a noun. There are 2 different meanings. Let's see which one's correct. So A is the power to influence people and get results. And B, an application that helps you influence results. Which do you think it is? Do you think it's A or do you think it's B? If you're going to put your answer in, perhaps you can just put the number so I can see which one you're answering to, because unfortunately the comments load up at a slower speed. So I might not get it in the right order. But actually the answer for leverage is A, the power to influence people and get results. Thank you so much, Kitababi and Camilla, for consistently participating. It means a lot. So leverage is, the answer is A, the power to influence people and get results. So let's look at the third word, which is scalable, which is an adjective. And there are 2 different meanings. Which one is correct? So A, used to describe whether you can measure the success of a product. B, used to describe a business or system that is able to grow or to be made larger? Do you know the answer? Is it A or is it B? Scalable. And I can reveal that the answer is, drum roll, B. So B is the answer. So scalable, the meaning of scalable, it's used to describe a business or system that is able to grow or to be made larger. Thank you, Kitababi. You followed my instructions with the number and the letter. Thank you very much. Good listening practice as well. Well done. Okay, the fourth word that we're going to look at is the word, or the combination word, business angel. Now, this is an incredibly important word if you're making a pitch to someone. The word is now, it's a noun. The first one is it's a person that mentors you in business. And the second B is a person that invests money in new companies. So is it for A or is it for B? Which do you think it is? So I can reveal that the answer is for B. So a business angel is a person that invests money in new companies. Good. Moving on to number 5, we're looking at the noun edge. A, nervous and not relaxed. B, push something away. C, an advantage over other people or companies. So is it 5A, is it 5B, or is it 5C? The meaning of the noun edge. And I can reveal that the answer is 5C. So an advantage over other people or companies is an edge. An advantage over other people or companies is an edge, the noun edge. Right, let's test what we've learned. Can you put the words we have just looked at into the missing gap or the missing section in the sentence? So here is a reminder of the words we've just looked at. The first one was buy-in. The second one was leverage. The third one was edge. The fourth one was business angel. And the fifth one was scalable. So let's have a look at these sentences and let's see if you can remember the meanings by putting the correct word in the gap. So for the first sentence, effective startups must understand how to communicate their vision and create for it. I'll read the sentence again. So it's effective startups must understand how to communicate their vision and create for it. And I can reveal that the missing word is buying, buy-in. So effective startups must understand how to communicate their vision and create buy-in for it. There you go. So effective startups must understand how to communicate their vision and create buy-in for it. Great. Good. Let's have a look at the second sentence. So, a good slide deck gives startups more when it comes to getting business angels to invest. What do you think the missing word is? So a good slide deck gives startups more when it comes to getting business angels to invest. And the missing word is leverage. leverage. So a good slide deck gives startups more leverage when it comes to getting business angels to invest. The third sentence is, if startups want to get companies or individuals to invest, they have to demonstrate that their idea is. So if startups want to get companies or individuals to invest, they have to demonstrate that their idea is, and I can reveal, scalable. So you have to demonstrate that your idea is scalable. So if startups want to get companies or individuals to invest, they have to demonstrate that their idea is scalable. Good. Let's move on to number 4. So most startups need the most important thing if you're pitching for a new startup. It's the most important. So most startups need a business angel. I just want to say well done to everybody. Ruslan, Kitababi, Camilla, you're still amazing. You're still responding and typing. Apologies if I don't acknowledge you, because as I said, the comment section comes up sometimes after the fact. But well done, and thank you so much for participating. It really does mean a lot. So let's look at our 5th and final sentence where we need to complete the missing word that we've looked at. So a business angel wants to know what your competitive is. A business angel wants to know what your competitive is. And I can reveal that the answer is edge. Yes, we want to have a competitive edge. A business angel wants to know what your competitive edge is. Remember, this is uploaded so you can rewind it and double check on the meanings to be sure that you understand all of the words. Good. I'd like now to turn to a few commonly used phrasal verbs. And I'm wondering if you can put the correct phrasal verb in the gap. We've got 8 phrasal verbs that we're going to do: sort out, stick to, set up, move into, come up with, narrow down, carry out, and the final one is look into. Take a quick screenshot of that so that you remember those and decide which ones go into which gap. Right, let's move on. The first one, the first sentence, we had some issues with the application not being user-friendly enough, but we have now managed to Which of these phrasal verbs are you going to put into this gap? We had some issues with the application not being user-friendly enough, but we have now managed to and I can reveal that the answer is sort this out. Remember, we have to remember that the beginning part of the phrasal verb is a verb, so we must make sure that we get it into the right grammatical tense. So remember, if it's past, it would be sorted out. So just be careful when you're using these phrasal verbs that you make sure that you put them in the right grammatical tense to illustrate your additional meaning. Good. Well done, Ruslan. You got it right. Okie dokie. Let's move on to the second sentence. And the second sentence is, we thought about changing the features of the product, but decided to our initial plan. We thought about changing the features of the product, but decided to our initial plan. And I can reveal that the answer is stick to. So we thought about changing the features of the product, but decided to stick to our initial plan. Yeah, so you're keeping to, stick to it. You're keeping to what you initially decided. Well done. Let's move on to the number 3. And number 3 is our plan was to a task team to deal with feedback. So our plan was to a task team to deal with feedback. And I can reveal that the answer is our plan was to set up a task team to deal with feedback. Our plan was to set up a task team to deal with feedback. So we are using this phrasal verb set up. And remember that we link it because the end of the word ends in a consonant sound and the next word starts with a vowel sound. So we say set up as opposed to set up, but it could be used together, set up. Yeah, so our plan was to set up a task team to deal with feedback. It's often one of the reasons why phrasal verbs can be difficult to hear, because very often they have a preposition or an adverb that starts with a vowel sound, and when that happens we connect them, and very often it sounds like one word, set up. But important to remember, if you need more help with us, call on us, right? Good. Number 4. Let's have a look at sentence number 4. Our product is currently only available in Europe. We plan to the Asian market. So our product is currently only available in Europe. We plan to move. Oh, I just gave a clue away. So we plan to move into the Asian market. So that's the answer. We plan to move into the Asian market. Now, we know with phrasal verbs, they can be so confusing because they don't have a literal meaning. You can't literally move yourself into an Asian market. And that's why these phrasal verbs can be difficult, because with the two, with the verb and the adverb, or the, Maya, well done, fantastic, move into, excellent. As I was saying, very often the meaning is quite different, and so it's quite important to pay attention to these phrasal verbs. We use them a lot in British English, so much so we've even got a phrasal verb dictionary. Good. Okay, number 5. Thank you so much to all of you for participating. It's just great. It's just great. Okay, number 5. We have, this has got 3 missing words. So we have strategies to deal with payment issues. We have strategies to deal with payment issues. So I can reveal that the phrasal verb we're going to use here is we have come up with strategies. We have come up with strategies to deal with payment issues. So we have come up with strategies to deal with payment issues. And again, come up with. We can see that it joins there, come up with. Let's have a look at number 6. So the number 6 sentence is, we had several options to deal with technical issues. We have now them to the 5 most important ones. Which of these phrasal verbs are left? Have you been paying attention and marking them off so that you can get closer to the correct answer? So we had several options to deal with technical issues. We have now narrowed them down. We have now narrowed them down. Remember, I said the beginning part is a verb, so we're going to use it in the past because it's a finished action. We've narrowed them down. We know exactly what we have. We've got 5 left. So good to know. Well done, Maya. You've got them down and you got the correct tense as well. Excellent, Maya. Fantastic. Well done. And Ruslan. Narrow, but remember, past narrowed, ed, past simple. Yeah, well done. Good. Let's move on to number 7. And the sentence is, we have extensive research into current trends. So which of these phrasal verbs are you going to use? We have, is it going to be stick to, set up, move into? Which of these haven't I used yet? Have you been paying attention? So we have extensive research into current trends. We have carried out extensive research into current trends. Carry, absolutely, Ruslan, but remember, it's past simple. It's already happened, so it's carried out. And the final one, we have number 8. We have why users prefer more images with text. We have why users prefer more images with text. So I can reveal that the answer is we have looked into. We have looked into. We have looked into why users prefer more images with text. Remember, past simple because it's already happened. We have looked into, but we've got another added grammatical feature. Well done, Ruslan. Excellent. Looked into. Fantastic. Well, congratulations to all of you that got those answers correct. And if you're watching the recorded session, the uploaded session, congratulations if you got those right. Well, that's all there is time for today. Thanks for listening and thank you for your time. Over to you. Do you have any questions or anything you would like to ask us?
Thank you so much, Linda, for this fantastic session and so many useful expressions and vocabulary for business English for startups. And yes, it's been great to see so many of you participating and giving us correct answers to different exercises. Well done, everyone. Pfizer. Just before we get to a question for Pfizer, actually. Do write your questions and comments in the live chat and we'll answer them, whether they are about business English or grammar or about English vocabulary or anything that's unclear for you. We'll be very happy to help right now in this live session. And Faiza, I know that you've got a huge amount of experience presenting business presentations, pitches. You're fantastic at that. So can you share your tips for success in addition to what Linda shared with us at the beginning?
Yes, I can. I think part of what I've found is a little bit of my own wiring, but then also what is successful. And it's kind of ensuring that you tackle the key points. So some of the things that Linda mentioned, when you're going in for a pitch, you need to make it very clear that, you know, this is the product and this is what it does. This is the unique selling point about the product. And this is why I would be different, say, from my competitors. This is how I could see the product scaling. And that's very much a concept that's in that startup world that, you know, people are looking for that next new idea that some people will buy into, but eventually it will grow exponentially. And that's what every startup is looking to do, is kind of get what is another word to an acronym is something called a minimum viable product. So an MVP. So everybody's trying to get a minimum viable product that people will buy. There will be a demand for it. They'll be able to supply it and then kind of take that and grow. So I think when you're pitching, you have to be very clear on identifying, you know, this is what it is. This is who we're targeting. These are our plans and this is how we plan to grow. I think it's also quite important to ensure that, like, you know, you have done the background research and have kind of information at hand, because often during these pitch meetings, you'll be probed to be like, right, why do you think this is your target audience? And you'll be like, we did this survey focused on, we carried out the survey, like Linda was saying, of this demographic, and these are the things we found in our focus group, or this is the things we found in the online survey that we conducted. So while you might not put all of that information into a pitch, you need to be able to answer it. I guess that's another tip, that you don't want to put the whole kitchen sink when you're pitching in a startup, because the environment is also a little bit different. I think, people have watched Dragon's Den, or they've watched The Apprentice and shows like that. And you always get these ideas and these concepts of like, you only have a minute. It's your elevator pitch. You have 10 seconds. You have 5 seconds. So you need to know what it is that you're trying to sell, that you're trying to create, and then be able to articulate that quickly. And then if somebody asks you a question about it, to have all that knowledge in your back pocket to be able to expand. So that's kind of content based. And then I would just say, in terms of presentation styles, make sure you've practiced it, make sure you've rehearsed it, take your time, breathe, pause. I, for example, know that sometimes I can speak very quickly. So when I'm doing pitches or when I'm doing presentations, I'm just mindful of stopping, doing kind of what I'm doing at the moment, for example. That there are moments where I speak quickly, and then there are moments where I was like, okay, I want this message to land, so I'll present it as, here's this one factor, here's this 2 factors, like using things like lists. I mean, we've covered it in some of the other live streams we've done about like presentation skills and language and things that you can use, but keeping all of that in mind, like, how do you build a coherent story? Because at the end of the day, that's what a pitch is.
Yeah.
Taking somebody on a journey, saying, once upon a time, I had this idea, and I would love to live happily ever after by having you become my angel investor.
Yeah.
That's great.
I love the name Business Angel, because that really is exactly what the person's going to be in your life, right?
Yeah.
Great.
I'd also like actually, this just kind of reminded me that, it is, that angel concept is very true, because it's not often that you will get somebody who's willing to invest. So I'd say from like a psychological point of view, one thing to also be prepared for is you might pitch multiple times and you might get rejections and you might not get where you want to go. But that is the nature of startups. That is the world you live in, that you're just going to have to keep having this conversation over and over and over again. And then the right investor will choose to move with you, because that's another thing that's very much critical for any startup success. That you find the right person to invest, who understands your vision, who understands your product, and is willing to go with you and help you to get there. Because you often have with startups, there's that friction of somebody came in, invested, didn't have the same ideas as the founders, and then they kind of move on from there.
Right.
Yeah, and I think I just wanted to quickly say, I thought that your idea about Dragon's Den, so if anybody's watching, it's a little bit outdated, but I think the kind of the model, the business model as such is good, and it's good listening practice and a good idea to watch it to get any tips, the do's and don'ts.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Linda, and thank you, Faiza. And just a question to our viewers: do you have to prepare presentations and deliver presentations in English? And what are your keys to success? Share with us in the live chat, or if you're watching this as a recorded video, in the comments next to the video. And the question, Linda and Faiza, to you: lots of our clients come to us. They take either business English courses, or they take individual training. And one of the reasons why they join our classes, among many, of course, is that they're preparing for a very important presentation in English, and they just want to really be successful in this presentation, but it's very challenging for them. So how do we help them to prepare? And can you tell us a little bit about this and about different formats that are available for them?
I think Linda can probably go into more of the technical things as she's in the classroom and probably at this point helped hundreds, if not thousands, of people kind of prepare. But what we facilitate is basically a very safe environment for somebody to practice and to try and to learn. As you've seen in this live stream, for example, Linda took us through that, these are the phrasal verbs that you might want to look at. This is the vocabulary. How do you think these words match? And sometimes you get it right, and sometimes you might not, or you can get part of it right, or you can't get part of it. And so very much how we deliver training, whether it's in a group or an individual capacity, is giving you that space to try it out, to give you that confidence, so that when the real thing happens, you've already done it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Or you already know what you're saying, or you're able to apply that learning. So, I mean, even for example, when Linda was going through some of those, you gave that note of you have to be mindful of the tense, and then people applied that within a minute when they came to the next sentence, and they were like, oh, right, yes, no, is it carry out, or is it carried out? Is it narrow, or is it narrowed down?
Yeah.
So you get that guidance, you get that confidence, and you get that comfort, so that by the time you actually get to the presentation, you're like, I know this. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
At least we hope.
I think the key thing is the language, and I think very often people don't have it. It's like having I always say in the class, it's like having a template. Once you've got the template, and you understand the nuances, you understand about the pronunciation, the chunking, the intonation, the pausing, all of that kind of thing. And as you say, then so in a group, we give all of that. We have a lot of input, and then each person, and that's whether it's, general English or whatever, it doesn't matter what course you're doing, you have that choice if you want to do it, to do it. And a lot of people initially are frightened about the concept of having to present. But I think what's great about the groups is that everyone gets quite sort of close really quickly. And as you say, in the classroom, there's this element of trust. And I think that the London School do that quite well in terms of the teachers and the trainers and just the staff and everybody that's around the school, supporting everybody. So immediately people are feeling supported. And I think if you feel you're in a supportive, trusting environment, you feel like you can be vulnerable. You feel like you can make mistakes. No one in the class is going to go, oh my God, look what there's none of this sort of childish behavior going on. Everybody realizes, this is an important moment for this person. And as teachers, we also encourage, look, we've got to support each other, encourage each other. This is important. This guy's got to do this, or this woman's got to do this. And so by the time it comes to the Friday or whenever it is when they're doing that presentation, there's the language input that's been given. There's the support from your colleagues, because everyone's nervous and everyone's going, come on, you're going to do it. You're going to smash it, blah, blah, blah. And then on that moment, you present it. And what's great is you get your feedback from an international client. Our clients are all international. You're getting feedback from people all over the world, different job roles, saying to you, that was great, this was great, perhaps in the future. So, wow, what a way to actually prepare for a presentation, to get that kind of input from your teacher, feedback from your peers in your group, and then going away. And then, so the longer, we've had people on business courses who've been on those courses for 5 or 6 weeks, and by their 6th week, they're just like, boof, get up there, and they just kill us, and the people who've recently joined are going, oh my God, got a way to go still. But the thing is that I think this is what's great about these groups, is because you're in with like-minded people, you're in with people who in a similar position. So that's why I said right in the beginning, if you feel that, look, let's face it, doing a pitch, in your mother tongue is daunting as it is, but to get in a pitch in English, you need help, so call us if you need help, pick up the phone, email us, we're here, and that's what we love to do. We love to help, and we love to see people make a success, of what they're doing. So yeah, that's what I would say.
And we often get feedback from our alumni to be like, I had this presentation and I smashed it. We're like, excellent.
Yeah.
Or,
and that's great. That's what we want to hear. That's why we do what we do, is to help people, and to help people achieve their goals and achieve their aims. That's the main focus, really. And I think we do that quite well. I have to say, I'm quite proud of it. Really, I am.
Thank you, Linda.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah. Phrasal, would you like to add anything to this?
No, just as Linda said, if we're here to help, and we have a bunch of options depending on what you need or what your availability is. We have a lot of experience, and I think one of the important things that Linda touched on is the type of people you'll study along with will be very much like-minded and motivated, and that does very much help. So you'll also have this opportunity to learn and network from other people who have other, for example, cultural contexts, or work in different sectors, or have different levels of experience. So that is also a very valuable learning opportunity that the startup world has changed. It's not just a bunch of 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds. It's everybody. People are reinventing their lives. Exactly. In this last year, I think, there are so many people that started out on one path, and that path has changed dramatically. And, it's just caused a lot of things to happen in sometimes a good way, and sometimes, everything has its side, but
every cloud has a silver lining. There's a lovely idiom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Linda.
I love what Ruslan has just written.
Yes.
Yeah. So the question is, what are your keys to success? And Ruslan just answered saying, yes, I do have to be confident, know the subject, be prepared, narrow down the important topic slides, and focus on them. Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. You've actually, used some of that, those phrasal verbs that I mentioned, and
summarized perfectly. Very nice, concise.
Absolutely.
Yes, very well done.
Absolutely. Well done. Brilliant.
That's
absolutely
great.
Brilliant. Yeah,
thank you
fantastic.
for sharing, Ruslan. And it's great to see that you actually using the vocabulary that we shared earlier. And of course, as always, we have more live streams coming up, so don't hesitate to join them and learn more vocabulary and English expressions. And we've got a thank you from David Magalhaes. Great presentation. Thank you, David. Fantastic. Thank you, everyone who joined us today, and we hope that this was very useful. And we hope to see you again. And thank you, Linda and Phrasal, of course.
No problem.
Pleasure.
Thanks, everyone.
See you. Thank you very much for coming and joining.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.